Generic greetings and welcome to Construction plus Endless Space. So you might be asking yourself, why construction? Well, the reason for that is because we will be building an empire. That's pretty much what this game is about. You build an empire to stand the test of time, or until you win the game, obviously. Or lose the game. I mean, the chances are 50-50 to be totally honest with you, because I have no idea what's going to happen. Anyway, you may not know what this game is, so I'll explain it briefly. Endless Space is a 4X strategy game set in space. If the space in the name and the spaceships in front of you sort of didn't imply that enough. 4X stands for Explore, Expand, Exploit and Exterminate. Or depending on your playstyle, it could also stand for Exterminate, Exterminate, Exterminate and Extreme Exterminate. Actually, that would be 5X's, wouldn't it? But you get the idea, you get what I'm trying to say. You can pretty much build your empire / race or whatever you want to call it to do whatever you want. So if you want to build a huge armada, the likes of which the galaxy has never seen, to go off and siege enemy planets and destroy their fleets, then you can do that. If you want to be nice and friendly and happy and talkative and diplomatic to your neighbours and trade, then you can do that as well, and everything in between. So, this is fair warning before we start the game. I am not an expert in Endless Space. I don't think I'm an expert in anything, but, I'm certainly not an expert in Endless Space. I don't think, however, that should take away from the enjoyment of the game, not knowing much about it. But I think a little bit of knowledge goes a long way, so I will be trying to explain things as I go along. And also, another fair warning, this isn't going to be the fastest series ever created. It's a 4X game, turn-based as well, so, it's not going to be like, 3 minutes and it's over. Actually, that could actually happen if we're start next to a horrible race that comes and wipes us out. That could actually happen, but you get what I'm trying to say. The fact is that this will not be the fastest thing ever created. So if you're not into that sort of thing, then by all means, no hard feelings. Feel free to move on, but if you are interested, then feel free to stick around, because I'll be asking for your input on what we want to do, call ships, name ships. Where do you want to go with the empire? Do you want to go friendly, hostile, whatever? So we'll be doing that as we go through. Anyway, as I said, I'll try and explain it as we go along. So we're going to go to new game and I'll explain things there. So this is the main screen where you select all your options for your game. So we can select our colour, we can select all the your faction, and we'll set the galaxy up first. So we're going to have a disc shape, that's the standard one, I guess. We'll have only 4 empires, because anything over that in this is going to last about 5,000 episodes. It's probably going to last that anyway. Actually, it might last 1, because I'll be taking a vote at the end to see if you want to continue it or not. Anyway, the size is medium, we'll keep that there, because again, anything larger and it will be on here, will be here forever. And the age is normal. What the age dictates is the age of the sun. So if you have young suns, a lot of the planets tend to be molten and less sort of formed like Earth. It's not exactly new. Unless you believe certain theories about, we're not going to go into that. Anyway, so you can also change the difficulty, which I'll be keeping as normal, and the game speed, which I'll be keeping as normal. Single player, it is multiplayer as well, and to be honest, I mostly play this multiplayer with a few friends, but this is going to be single player only. Right, Empire, this is where you can select your empires, so let's have a look. We have all of these ones here, so United Empire, the Sophons, the Cravers, the Pilgrims, Amoeba, Automnans, all these ones here. These come with the game. This one here, the Prioria, and the Seekers of Stuff are the ones I've created. You can make your own empire. You can go to random faction as well to select one at random, or you can click on any one of these and just go to add. You can just click add and make one. But this is the one I've made for this video. Just go to modify and I'll show you what it is. So, name Seekers of Stuff, just because I needed a name. The affinity is the is it a ratio? It's ratio affinity. So, what this does, this dictates your sort of starting, or your technology. Because you've got 4 technology trees in the game. I'll show you that when we're in there. But this dictates what sort of faction-specific technologies you can get, or where the ones are, because certain factions have different things closer in, or maybe further away, depending on how they're sort of what they're geared towards. The ratio, their sort of ability, if you go there, it says effects. Now you can see it says unlocks the cloning of a hero. So it means you can actually clone heroes and make more of them. Again, that'll make more sense to you once we're in the game. You also get population and hero cloning and other sort of population-y type things for the race in their sort of technology. Appearance, that's the appearance of this thing here, as well as on the diplomatic screen and the ships. I like the way they look, so I'm going to stick with that. The main thing is over here. This is the traits. So this is what really determines your faction. So I tend to go for good or, for whether it be good or bad. I tend to pick a race on theme. So I've went for a sort of... this is based on heroes, the race, but it's also based on a race that does sort of have to escape and run away. So I've got unlucky colonists, which means it adds a negative anomaly to our system, our home system, which is not good. We also have anarchists, so our command points is reduced. Basically, we can't have as many ships in a fleet as we want. And you can see this is minus 15 because it gives you points to then, basically you need to be 65 for this affinity. You need to be 65 points or under. I'm at 64. You can see this minus 15. That's giving me points back. So the red ones are giving me points back. The green ones are what take away my points. So I've chose crowded planets, which gives me +2 population on small planets, +2 on tiny, +1 on medium. So my planets are actually got more people on them. More people means more money and more research and blah 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 blah. Dust impaired. That basically means that, well, as you can see there, 100% ability cost on hero. That's pretty much a non-issue because there's a couple of these that are a bit of a non-issue. That one, dust impaired, well, 100% ability cost on hero. Most of the money costs 60, like monies, dust. They only cost 60 dust. So having it a bit more doesn't really matter to me. Fast Travellers, +2 speed on ships. I really like fast ships, so I'm going to put that on there. Feeble Warriors, -25 defense on system and -8 defense per population on system. That basically means that your systems will be taken over like that. Not that I think that's an issue, however, because I read this somewhere on a guide. If you're getting taken over, you should really be fighting them off rather than just waiting for your planet to be taken over. So again, it's a bit of a non-issue. Legendary Heroes. Max this out. It's cost a lot of points, 24 points, but it means I get -4 upkeep on my heroes, so it doesn't cost me as much to pay them per turn. I also get 20 experience on hero when I hire them, so they go to level 3 as soon as I hire them, which is pretty much it's something I need on my setup. I've got Meticulous Analysis, which gives me +2 scan on the ship. Basically, you get like a bigger radius on the ship, so you can see enemy fleets and the strength and that sort of thing. Optimal Structure, that is a must. For pretty much any custom race, I would say that is a must, because it gives you +30 tonnage on ships, so you can have 30% more stuff piled onto your ships. That's very universal, because you can get other ones. If I go to, for example, where is it? Space Battle? No, it's Building. Oh, it might be Building. Fleet. I can't remember where it is now. No, it is Space Battle. You can get ones like Deadly Weapons. There you go. Like, it's +12% damage, max damage on fleet. See, that is very good. If you max that out, that's 36% basically extra damage, which is phenomenal. But it's only for weapons. Whereas this, Optimal Structure, it's just 30% tonnage. So if you want to just put 30% more weapons on, feel free to do so. 30% more engines on, again, feel free to do so. So I like that one. Scientists, +30% on science on all systems. I really like sciencey races, sciencey factions. So I thought I'd put that on there because science is everything. Without knowing, well, without having to research stuff, because science is what you use to research things in the game. You can't get better weapons, you can't get better options for diplomacy, you can't do anything really. You really need science, so I just put max points in that, +30%. Sloppy Sawbones, that is +100% healing costs on hero. So if your hero gets damaged, it's going to take them twice as long to get healed, which you may think, hang on, that's a stupid thing because my race, as I've just pointed out, is built on heroes. Yes, that is the case. However, this gives me an extra 4 points, and if the hero gets injured or, killed, and, I have to bring him back, I've got bigger fish to fry than the fact that the hero is gone. I've probably lost a fleet and or taken over a system, so I don't think I'll worry about the little time. The couple extra turns are going to take me to get him back. The Price of Beauty, +30% ship costs on Empire. That is a big problem because, 30% ship costs. It's going to cost me 30% more than anybody else to build ships, assuming other factions don't have that Price of Beauty. And most of the ones in the game don't have it at 3 of 3. They have it as 1 of 3, so it's like 10%. I've gone for, obviously, with the Anarchists, which is -2 command point cap, and the Price of Beauty. I tend to build a small fleet, but obviously fast travelers, so it's very fast. It's optimal structure, so they're bigger than anybody else's, and I normally have a hero with them, so it's sort of offsets the fact I have smaller fleets, but much better armed and better equipped. And finally, obviously, I've said unlucky colonists before, so it adds a negative anomaly, so that could be asteroids, that could be all sorts of stuff. It just gives a little bit of randomness into it when we start. So that is the Seekers of Stuff. That's my faction. That's what we're going to pick. So, this should be interesting. We've got 3 factions. What I'm going to do, I'm going to stick one of them onto the Cravers, because Cravers are a completely like warlike faction. In fact, they cannot ally with anyone. You can't actually go to peace with them or anything like that, which that'll make it interesting, I think. I could make 6 I could put 6 empires, couldn't I? 6 empires on a medium-sized map. That might be interesting. Shall I do that? I'm going to do that. I'm put that back as random, and we'll have 6 empires. Right. Wish me luck. Let's go. As I said, all this is going to be really is explaining the game as best that I can, which is probably not very good, and showing you pretty much how the game works, and then obviously we'll start building from there. So this is your main screen. This is where you will spend most of your time. Managing the empire, moving things around. On the right here, we get like alerts to show what's happening. So this first one here, it's basically a little talk about the galaxy and a little bit of backstory, but we're not going to read that. Dismiss. And these 3 here, these are the heroes that we've got. So the first one, these ones we can recruit. We got one there, which is, let's have a look. It's a pilot and adventurer. That's fine, we'll dismiss that. This one is perfect. It's administrator and a corporate, which is what we need. And the final one is a commander and a pilot, so again, good for commanding fleets. Good. Right, so this in the center, Xanados, this is our starting home system. It's not our home planet because there's more than one planet. If I click on it, we go into this screen, which shows us the planets that are in here. So we have 3 planets in the system. We currently have this one colonized, so this is a medium arid planet. We also have a small asteroid belt and a tiny arid. You can see that I cannot actually colonize these because I need the technology to actually colonize them. I'll explain other things as well. I'll explain that as we go along. On the top left, you can see our what's called FIDS. Stands for food, industry, science, dust and science, FIDS, yeah, so you FIDS, so you read it that way, FIDS. So our food is pretty much what we use to get population. These 3 dots here, this is our population. As long as we got positive food, that will go up. Our industry is what we use to build ships, and that sort of determines how long it takes to build a ship, as well as how long it takes to upgrade things in the system. Our dust is pretty much what we use to buy things with, I guess. Yeah, so you can hire heroes, you can force upgrades to be done and force ships to be done, and finally science is what you use in research. At the moment you can see it says no exploitation. What you can do, you can click on a planet and you zoom in, and then you can see our planet there. Lovely. What the hell is that? I don't know what that is, but it doesn't look good. Oh, there's one there as well. That's a little beacon or something. Anyway, you can see it shows our type of arid. If you mouse over it, it tells you the bonuses that arids give you, because all different planets give you different things. So the arid gives you -5 approval. That's the little thumbs up that you've got there, the pink thumbs up. So arid aren't great to live on. They're not bad, don't get me wrong, but they're not great. They give you +2 on your food per person on the planet. So we've got 3 people, so we're getting +4. +2 on the industry, +5 on the dust, and +1 on the science. So this is pretty much a dust load. You can, we're getting more dust. You can see, look, we're getting 9 food, 3 industry, 3 science, and 15 dust. So this is a dust planet. This is where we're going to get a lot of dust from. The problem is that I don't really need dust at the moment. What I'm really concerned with is getting the population up. So in order to do that, I can exploit options. What that does is it gives you more of that type, and you can exploit any 4 of the resource, but it's only 1 at a time, but you can change it at any point. So I'm just going to click on food, and that's going to take that puts the research the upgrade down the bottom here, so you can see it's in the queue. Xanados 1 evolved soils, that's our research, and it's going to take 10 turns to do. This little symbol here, which for a long time I didn't know what it is, you can actually buy it out, so you can go, I'm not going to wait, and click it, and it will spend what it says there, so 71 to just get it done. I don't have 71, as you can see on the top left, I have 42, so I can't buy that out, it's just going to take a while. Because of my race, as I explained before, I also have a anomaly on the planet, and it's a negative anomaly. In this case, it's a swamp world, so it's -10 approval on the planet, but I do get +1 food, but I do get -1 industry on it. So not great, not great. These things here, I'll come back to them. We don't need to worry about them for the time being. The great thing about this game, it's probably... I've played a couple of 4X games. I wouldn't say I'm like it's my favourite genre or anything, but the one thing that this game does probably better than any other one I've played is just how efficiently it displays the information and how efficiently the UI is and how it is to navigate. So it's left click to go into something, right click to go out of it. So I can just go left click, I know stuff, I can go back out and out, there you go. So what else have we got to explain? We can't colonize these yet because we don't have the technology to do so, and we probably wouldn't want to, because when you colonize certain ones, your approval, which is this thing up here, will go down, or it can go down depending on what's called overexpansion. You don't want to expand too quickly, the colonists don't like it. Approval, if I mouse over it, you can see we've got plus 50 from the Empire, and minus 15% from the planet. Minus 15 because of this planet, because it's a dust ball that's actually a swamp. I don't know how that happens, to be honest with you. I'm totally not going to question that, but either way, it's minus approval. The happier the people are, the more efficient you will be able to generate things. So basically, your fids will go up as your approval goes up, which is good. Anyway, what else have we got to do? Well, you can see this is the galaxy. These are the sort of jump lines, I guess. You can move your fleet, incidentally. This is the fleet. Actually, it's not the fleet. That's a ship. There's a couple of ships there, but we'll get to that in a moment. These lines go to different stars. At the moment, I don't know what's in the stars, so I know that's a white sun, and I could probably guess, depending on the type of sun, what's going to be in there. So what's that one? Red supergiant. Relatively cool. So it's probably going to be dust balls and stuff there. There's probably going to be a couple of... tundras, maybe. There's probably going to be some deserts. Over here, what's that? That's a white sun. Yeah, that's probably going to be quite good, that one. What we're going to do, we can only see the stars at the moment, so we can roughly guess what's going to be there. But we have to follow these jump lanes. Now, I don't know what the official term is. I call them jump lanes, but these sort of jump routes, lanes, whatever you want to call them, you can see these go all to the stars. But this one here, this is different, because this is one that we can't currently traverse. We need some technology to do it, because it's like a wormhole. So we can't currently traverse this one to go there. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the stars closest to us. So this is our fleet here. If I click on it, on the bottom left, we get like a little fleet option panel. We can see we have alpha and beta fleets. There's 2 fleets in here. The alpha fleet has 1 of 3 in it. And it doesn't mean 1 ship, it just means 1, like, sort of size. The bigger your ships and the better they are, the larger that number will become. But if I click on alpha, you can see it's called a seer. Now, I know that is my scout ship. If I go to my beta, it'll be the reproducer, which reproducer is my colony ship. I can check that in. I'll show you how to check that in a moment. So, and you can also get this, you see this option here, which is flashing there. Populate a planet. It means I can click that and populate a planet. I'm not going to do that because I can't populate the planet. So you can see there's 2 red dots. When I clicked in here, look, it says not colonizable, not colonizable. 2 red dots. You can see how that works. So, I want to check this out. So I'm going to click on the fleet, and I'm going to select my seer, and I'm going to right click here. And it will move along. There we go. And it's found something. So it's found the planets in there. We get some little information on the right. So we've discovered an entropic field. Ooh. And what else? We've also found we've got an exploration event plus 3 XP on the fleet. That's quite good. We've got exploration. So when you come to systems, you get, or you can turn this on and off, but I keep it on. When you go to different systems, you get different like little events. So you could find a ship, you could find pirates, you could find all sorts. I've actually got pirates turned off, to be honest with you, but you can find different things. So you've XP, or you get more money and that sort of thing. But anyway, so we found this. Well, we've explored the system. If I click on it, we can see what's there. Ooh, I thought it was glowing. Then is that glowing? Yes, it is glowing. Wow. So we have a small tundra, a medium tundra, and a huge. When it means huge, that sort of thing, that's basically how much population it can hold. You can see the huge is obviously, you can see it has a lot more population capacity. Now, what else does that have? That has metallic waters, so that's plus 10 approval, and plus 1 industry on that planet. That's pretty good. That's good. What's this one do? This has got an entropic field. Minus 30 upkeep on star system. Right, so I'm not going to have to pay as much to actually upkeep the thing. Not bad at all. And that's irradiated. That's probably not the planet we're going to colonize first, I'll be totally honest with you. Minus 20% on approval, plus 1 on food. Sorry, minus 20% on approval, -1 on food, and -1 on science. So we're not going to colonize that for a long while. We'll leave that well alone. You can get rid of them, by the way, but that's like that's quite far down the line. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to click this button here, which is Explore the Galaxy. What it'll do, it'll automatically explore the galaxy and just try to find everything we can. You know, it'll just search around and be, you know, find different things, and we'll probably, you know, meet up with an empire at some point. I've actually started roughly in the middle, so I'll probably hit one soon enough, especially since there's 6. Anyway, we've got a couple of other screens to deal with, so let's go and have a look at them. Oh, but incidentally, this thing at the bottom right, that says, you know, this shows a 1 there with a little fleet symbol. What that means is that there's one fleet, which I know is this one, doing nothing. So if I click on it, it'll actually select it. The reason it's doing nothing is because I haven't told it to do anything. I don't want it to go and colonize something. I don't exactly want it to guard something because it hasn't got any weapons, so I'll just leave it. Okay, starting at the top left, we're going to go along these buttons, and I'll explain them as we go along. The first one is our Empire screen. This shows all the planets we have. Currently, all the systems we have, not planets. All the systems we have. Currently, we have 1. It shows the heroes that are in it, which is none at the moment. We'll be changing that in a moment. We'll be changing that later. And also the FIDS values as well. And also what we got in the hangar, because when you build ships, they don't automatically turn up outside the system. They go in the hangar and then you have to deploy them. We also see how much dust and research we're getting per turn. So I'm getting 11 dust per turn, and we're getting 5 research per turn. You can change this by altering the tax rate. So if I go down, we'll get less money, but we'll get more research. Also, as it goes down, the approval of the system changes because people don't like to be taxed. They really don't want to be taxed. Let's keep it on 35% for the time being, but I will be changing that. You can also see Empire, you can see trade routes. Shows all the trade routes we have. At the moment we don't have any. And the faction, basically this is from my faction, shows what we've got. So, you know, you can see plus 60% for tax rate, blah blah. All these ones here, most like this plus 30% from tonnage on ships. This is all what we selected at the start. So you don't really need to look at that, to be honest with you. If you've built your own faction, you know what that does. So that's that. Again, it's left click to go in and right click to come out. This is what I like. It's easy to navigate and all the information is there. If you're not sure, just mouse over something and it'll just tell you what it does. Approval, look, and indicates how happy your citizens are with your government. Can't even speak. Right, so we're coming out of that. Next one, this is our research. Here we go. We have 4 trees. We have galactic warfare, we have diplomacy and trading, we have exploration and expansion, and applied sciences. So the top one is all about the guns and the lasers and the bombs and the blowing stuff up and things. This is all about killing and murder and death and genocide and sieging planets and liberation and whatever you want to call it. Basically, it's about building ships. And weapons that can destroy other ships and weapons. That's what this is about. The one on the left is a bit of a mixed bag. It's about trading and diplomacy. So we've got different technologies here that gives us bonus to trading, gives us trade routes. It also ups our fleet capacity as well as our hero capacity, because you can only have a certain amount of heroes, and also our approval and things like that. You can see there's sort of a couple of different colours in here. We've got a grey one. Which I'll just pick this one here, relative economics, for example. Relativistic economics. We'll pick that one for the time, just for example. You can see it's grey. That means that pretty much anybody has access to it. Every race has access to that. Every faction, should I say, has access to that. The yellow one means we can, if we want to, start researching that. It is a viable option to research. You can see these lines that go off. You have to follow these lines, or have a line connected to it, or you have to have the previous one in order to research that. I think that's self-explanatory. You didn't really need me to explain that. Anyway, there's also other ones which are orange. You can see there's one here, there's one there, there's one here. These are faction specific, so only my faction gets them ones. It might be that the technology in there is available for other factions, but not at this particular point in the tree. So for example, this one here, futuristic game theory. You can see the 2 technologies I will get. I'll get entangled sensor array, which allows me to do influence and stuff like that. I won't bore you with the details of that yet. And we also get alien resources, which is +2 academy cap. That basically means I can have 2 more heroes. Normally, that's further up the tree for other people, but because my race is specifically designed for heroes, that's further down. The one down the bottom here, this is all about pretty much fleet. So you can see our like dreadnought down here. There we go. Yes, that's our dreadnought. And also the type of planets we can colonize, because currently we can't really colonize many planets. We've got you can colonize arid by researching that one there. You can colonize tundra by that one there. But at the moment we can't colonize anything really. If we can colonize a Terran planet, I believe, but that's about it. And the chance of finding one are slim. But that's all about research, and also you can when you go further down the tree, you can find moons. You can also cut anomalies. So this one here, that one allows you to, like, I had a swamp on my desert planet. I don't know how I managed that, but I can use that to get rid of the swamp, and that would give me bonuses, or it would get rid of the minuses. On the right here we have our technology. So this is about research. You can see all of these ones increase research on our systems. Incidentally, most of these that I've shown you, such like all these ones here, you don't get these automatically once you research them. Once you've researched them, you have then the ability or the option to upgrade your system with it. It's not a case of you research it, you get it on all of your systems. That's not the case. You have to actually put them on different planets. And you can also you can see it goes up here. These purple ones are different resources, the strategic resources, because certain things when you build, you need strategic resources to do. It's something that we'll explain later on. And far to the right here, we've got this one here, which is going to take me 186,462 turns to get. But if I did get it, I'd win the game. Obviously, that number goes up or down. You can see the numbers it's going to take for research. It's going to take me 7 turns to research that. These numbers will go up and down based on how much science I'm actually producing. Again, if I come out and go back to the first one, you can see how much science I'm producing there. Research, even. Right, next one. This is our military tab, so we can see all of the fleets we have. We've got Alpha and Beta, like we've explained before. Alpha has the Scout in there, the Seer, and Beta has our Reproducer. We can also make our own ships on the right-hand side, so we can click on each of these. These are the ones that sort of, you get 3 ships. You get like a Scout, a colony ship, and this one's called a Striker. Basically, a little defense ship. That's all it really is. You get 3 to start off with, custom built. The computer just gives you, like, there you go. They're not great. They're good enough to defend off, to kill pirates for the most part. You can see it's got the tonnage of the ship, so, this is actually very undertonned. I could probably have a lot more on it if I wanted to. The health it's got, how much it's going to cost, the command point cost, which is a bit of a problem for me because I picked so I get -2 command points. So it only costing 1 is good, but you, like say, that goes up and up and up, depending on how big the ship is, what type of ship class it is, etc. And MP, that stands for military power. The more military power, generally the harder the ship is, but it's not always the case because combat works a little bit differently than you might think. Anyway, I'm not gonna build all the ships. This is just a rough explanation. Diplomacy. This is me in the centre. Well, that's not physically me because I don't look like that. I'm not bald for a start off, and I don't have this gown on. Actually, I do have a gown on. No, I don't. So, you can see these dots around here. These show the different races. At the moment, they don't show anything, actually. They just have, like, little hologrammatic arrays pumping out nothing, just blue. But when we find different races, they will appear there, and then we can look at them, and we can talk to them, and we can click on them, and, have a little chat and make sure everything's friendly. And finally, last but not least, certainly not least for this faction, is the Academy. So this shows the heroes we can get and the heroes we have. So active heroes, we have none. We have not hired any. Okay, and the next one, the one down here, is Heroes for Hire. Click on that, we can see the heroes we have to hire. We can hire certain heroes, so we can hire these 3. So it depends what you want to do. Like, say, you can see this guy's a pilot and he's an adventurer. This guy is a commander and a pilot. So he's probably not going to be good to command a star system because he's a commander and a pilot. He's not, like this guy, administrator and a corporate. Administrator and corporate is the perfect combination, in my opinion, to sit on a system. If we click on each one, we can go to inspect, and we can see on the right, this looks complicated, I know, but it's not. If I can manage this, anybody can. We can see the attributes on the hero. We can see what sort of what his 2 main things are. So this guy's a commander and a pilot. We can click on each one of them, and it brings up like a tech tree. Don't worry about that for now. Just understand that it's there. And we also have the effects that the hero gives. So you can see it's plus 20% damage on military fleet weapons, plus 20% damage on max fleet weapons, plus interception on invasion fleet weapons. Basically, he's about the fleet. And then finally down the bottom, he produces plus 4% food on a star system, plus 4% industry on a star system. This guy here, however, there you go. He's got 18% on science, 18% on dust, 10% on food, 10% on our industry. So this guy is and he's also got defense in a star system. My defense, as you may recall, is rubbish since I absolutely nerfed it into the ground in my starting race tech. I made sure that I wasn't very good at defending planets, because the whole point in my race was it was sent off into the galaxy after being half destroyed, and then it resettled on the first planet it could manage to get to, and now we're rebuilding. That's the rough backstory for this empire, or whatever you want to call it. Right, so this guy is good. I really want this guy. So I want to hire him. There's a couple of ways to hire him. There's not really, the good thing about this game is, like I say, most things are 1 or 2 clicks away. So I want to put a hero in this system, Xanados. That's because heroes generally give me, obviously as we just saw, give you bonuses to resources. So you can see up here it says hero, none. I'm going to click change. So no active heroes. Why is that? Because we haven't hired any. Yeah, I knew that. We click on the heroes up the top here, and we're going to have to hire a hero. So which one am I going to hire? Do you reckon I should hire the pilot and the commander? No, probably not. What about the pilot and the adventurer? Probably not. We're going to hire this guy here. Click hire. Done, and he's hired. There we go. He currently has no assignment, so I can either assign him to a fleet, assign him to a system, or we can just inspect him and, see what he's like. But we've already done that. Or we can expel him as well. We don't want to do that. We also have another option, which says clone. This is this faction specific. It's ratio specific or whatever. If you use that, sort of tech tree, you can get this ability to clone the heroes, so you can clone them all. And it's good because I really want this hero, and I'll probably be cloning him to put him on different planets. Anyway, I don't have the dust for that now anyway, so I'm not going to. Okay, on the bottom right we have a new alert. If I click on it, we can see this hero here. Oh, hang on. He's actually gained a new level. Why is that? Well, that's because when I built my faction, again, if you can recall, I get plus 20 to experience because that's how I made it. What that really means is that I can now level him up. So these are the things I can level up. I can get plus 3 defense, I can get plus 3 offense, plus 3 wit, or plus 3 labor. The defense and offense should be self-explanatory. That's for repelling and attacking planets and fleets. Wit will increase my science and my dust output. Labor will increase my food and my industry. I'm going to click labor, and I've got another experience to spend as well. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pick this one here, which is the Ministry of Propaganda 1. It gives plus 30% approval on the star system. You may recall, I'll select them anyway and click accept. You may recall that this here, my approval ain't great because I'm on a medium arid swamp world. Okay, so it's not great. What I'm going to do though is add this hero. Click on the hero, assign a system. There we go. Because he gives plus 32 approval, we are now happy. So because they're happy, they'll breed more. We'll get more people. Excellent. Right. So we're thinking about ending that. We're getting close to ending our first turn now. I know this has taken a long time. I know we're like 30 minutes in and stuff, but the whole point is that I wanted to explain it as best I can. I've probably done a terrible job, and I apologise for that. But anyway, research. We need to pick a research now. Oh yeah, you can also see that these used to say 7 turns. Now we've gone to 5 turns. That's because my approval has gone up. Excellent. What I want to do is pick something to research. Obviously, it's going to have to be something. There's no point in weapons for the time being. I don't tend to make weapons because this isn't a war race. So, what am I going to do? I can get this one here, which gives me plus 1 science per person on planets. Maybe not. What's this one? Plus 10 industry. That's very good, and it also allows me to find the strategic resource of titanium-70. I'll explain that later. Or we can go down this route, which is, colonizing tundra and arid. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go for N-Way fusion plants. That's what it's called there. That's because it'll give me this improved isotope refineries. It means that when I upgrade that on the system, I'll get more industry, which means more industry means faster building on upgrades as well as ships. So I'm going to click on that. It's going to take 5 turns, okay? It will take 5 turns. So, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to end the turn there. Oh, a couple of things I haven't explained as well. This this blue around here, this is like my what would you call it? My influence. Yeah, it's my influence. As the system gets bigger, you can see there's a number there, 3. As that gets bigger and there's more people on it and etc. As the population increases, etc., this will expand out. The one next to it, this is how far I can see. There you go. You can see that the system can't see much. However, this ship, look at the size of that. That's massive. That I can see quite far in that. This would be the fog of... Was it fog of war? Fog of galaxy? Fog of war, we'll say. It's cutting through all that, so we can see... So if there was, like, say, another jump lane here that I couldn't really see, but there was a ship there, I'd be able to scan it and see how big it is and, you know, roughly what sort of the composition is. So you can see that's, you know, quite large. That's because when I picked my faction, I made sure that all ships had +2 on scanning, so not bad at all. Right, what else is there left? I think I've done the best of a bad job explaining thing. Oh yeah, resources at the top. We get some strategic and luxury resources. Again, I'm not going to explain that until we find some. And we also get trade routes. Trade routes are pretty much automatically created, but because we haven't got the technology to unlock them, we haven't got any yet. And we also haven't discovered another faction to actually trade with, so we can't exactly trade with another system, can we, that we don't know that's there. That would be silly. Right, let's check our victory conditions. Players, I am Stuff Plus. I'm on 29, and everybody else is above me. So I'm last, basically. That's what it's telling me. Yay, good start. I'm also 6th on the research. Sorry, on the FIDS, which is out of 6, isn't it? I'm 6th out of research. I am 3% to expansion victory. And 17% on the supremacy victory. There's several different types of victories. So you could win by just be friendly. You could win by destroying everybody. You could win by just expanding. That, by the way, that says 17%. That's obviously based on other people's as well. So if they get like one more planet, that'll go to like 0. Diplomacy, my victory on that is 0 because I'm not allied with anyone, and that's the only other victory that I can think of. Right, so I'm going to leave it there. There's a couple of things that I want from you. Specifically, A, do we continue with this? Do you want to see more of this? Have I done a completely horrible job? Do you want to see more of these videos? Do you want me to continue building the empire, or do you want me to just call it a bad job and sack it in? If you do want to continue building the empire, I want to know where you want to go with the empire. Firstly, I need a name for this. This is called Xanados. Let's change that to something different, because we can actually rename the system up here. Let's change that to something different. What do you want the system name to be? Secondly, we need a couple of fleet names, but the fleet names will be for our defense ships. So what are we going to call the fleets? And also, well, speaking of fleets, we're going to be creating in the next episode, assuming there is one, we're going to be creating another ship for defense. What do you want to call the ship? Because you can actually name it. And which way do you want to go? Do you want to go with kinetic weapons? Do you want to go with beams? Do you want to go with missiles? I know my preference is beams, but that's because I like flashy lights that are firing off the ship. Kinetic is the only thing we have at the moment. We don't actually have missiles or beams yet, but we can research into that pretty quickly. But which way do you want to go? Kinetic, beam, or missile? Either way, it's completely up to you. Right, thank you very much for watching, assuming there's anyone left. Take care, and generic partings.